There's little Joe, who's not so little anymore. Joe just showed up tonight. I haven't seen Joe in weeks. I don't know why. He's still been in the neighborhood, but hasn't been coming by, or he's been coming by so late I'm not aware of it. Because unfortunately the weather got so cold, or just uncomfortable, that I haven't been able to leave my door open anymore. And I've been rarely putting food out because I want to put it out for my stray kitty, Buddy. But sometimes the neighborhood possums beat him to it. Tonight I left the food out for whatever reason, and heard a lot of crunching and banging around on this bowl on my step. Being a glass bowl, it makes a lot of noise. I opened the door, and instead of some random possum running off in fear, little Joe was standing on my top step, and he's just like, "What?" Because he didn't run away, and I was able to reach out and pet him. I knew it was him. He's grown quite a lot since I've seen him last. Haven't you, Joe? Oh, he's a good boy. But it's really nice to know that even after all these weeks of not seeing him, that he still recognizes me enough and is familiar enough that he didn't want to run away. I'm really kind of surprised by that. I would not have expected him to retain that kind of memory of familiarity. You're a big boy now, Joe. Where's Fred? Is he still around? Last I saw of either of them, my next door neighbor across the street had sent me some outdoor video footage separately of Joe and Fred walking by his place at like 3 o'clock and 5:30 in the morning, respectively. Just out strolling, but they weren't coming by here for food anymore. I kept leaving the food inside my door with my door open as long as I could, but the weather's just been getting colder. First week in November, second week in November, and there's been these little flying bugs, kind of like fruit flies, in abundance recently. So if I leave my door open for more than a minute or two after dark, I get inundated with these little things, which I can't actually see anywhere when I'm outside, but too many things stacked up against leaving my door open. So yeah, haven't seen either of them. Don't know how much they've been around. Not coming around early enough before I'm forced to close my door. But old Joe here, he looks healthy. He's obviously finding enough food, whatever he's doing, which I'm happy for, but he's a hungry guy tonight. He's been scarfing down. This is like his second or third bowl. But the way he's eating, he's just like, hey, he's a hungry boy. I'm just happy that he's still around, that he's healthy and doing well. And he still remembers me, don't you, Joe? Huh? He's like, I don't want to snip you right now, I'm eating. He's a good boy, Joe. I'm happy to see you, buddy. I am. I'm happy to see you. You still see Fred? Is he around? Is he doing okay? Last I did see Fred, he was looking a little bit scruffy and hadn't actually grown a whole lot in comparison to little Joe. They used to be the same size, and little Joe just had a huge growth spurt. Fred, not so much. So a little concerned about him, so I was happy to see that video footage a couple weeks after that, but I don't know what's happened since. Unfortunately, Fred has got some distinctive facial colorings. A dark patch there around the right eye, like little Joe has here. That dark patch continues down almost all the way to his nose on the right side. So when you see him, it's very obvious to identify him from all the rest. A few nights this past week or so, I've seen a full-grown and somewhat fat older black possum. that every now and then I think might be old Bob, because by now, having not seen Bob in 3 months almost, he'd be fully grown at this point. But that black possum, when he sees me, he runs away. Whereas I think if it were Bob, I don't believe he'd do that. Kind of like little Joe here. He retains that memory. He knows who I am. He feels moderately safe, as a wild possum can do without more human contact. Right, Bob? Right? Huh, little Joe? Huh? Yeah. Good boy. Sure missed you, buddy. I'm glad to see you're okay. And I set up that cardboard box over in the corner. Put some bedding in there, hoping somebody, one of my friends here, first Bob and then little Joe or Fred, would take advantage of it and call it home. But it's turned out just to be kind of a little hiding spot for all these guys. When something spooks them that they're out my door, whether it be me opening my door or some random noise, I find that they scurry into the box just as a little temporary shelter, but nobody has claimed it as a residence, which is sad. But I said I'd set it up originally hoping to give Bob a home that he'd feel comfortable staying in, that I'd see him long term. But I don't know what happened to that good friend of mine. I've watched little Joe here grow up ever since. Little Joe was the first one to show up during approximately Bob's last week with me. And when he was young, he was incredibly skittish. I couldn't get anywhere near him. Every time I'd make a sound, he'd take off like a bat out of hell. He could really move. Then one day that changed, and he let me pet him. He started coming inside. I lured him in with the bowl of food with the door propped open, and he just came right on in. And as soon as he was in here, he got a little bit more comfortable being around me. Don't know why. Don't know what changed. Then I got to make this little man's acquaintance. Oops. Okay, get up, little Joe. Say bye-bye.